Sounds good. So the first thing I'm going to hand out is just some login instructions so that you'll know once you leave here today where to go to find what we're going to talk about. Because if you're like me, I can tell you all day long, when you get back to your desk, you're like, oh, wait a minute, where did she tell me to go? So there you go. And just a little intro about Who Knew It. Basically, we as a college, I've been here 5 years, we had innovative educators before Who Knew It. We were looking for internet e-learning platforms with the availability to be accessible, whether you're at home or at your desk or on site, but to be able to find trainings at your fingertips. And we had a contract with Innovative Educators for 5 years. It was time to renew the contract, and a lot has changed in 5 years. So we started looking at other options. And formerly Atomic Learning is Who Knew It, and Atomic Learning kept coming up because what they're doing is a little different than what a lot of e-learning companies are doing. They have this outcome-based model. So not only do you watch a video, and typically with e-learning you watch a video, you take an assessment, but with Who Knew It, you watch a video, you do an assignment, so you prove it, you upload the assignment, and then you take the evaluation. So it's not only watch a video, take an evaluation, but you're actually proving what you're doing. You have the ability as a supervisor, and Tara, you've used this before, you can assign trainings. So you can assign a training, and you can also assign an assessment. But say you don't care if they take the assessment, you just want to know that they've done it. You can only assign a training and be done. Or you can assign parts of a training. So it doesn't have to be a whole 3-hour module. If you only want them to know for accessibility, maybe accessibility with Word, you can assign only that portion, and they don't have to continue going through all this other information when they don't need it. So it's just-in-time training. Because we do a lot of this type of seated training. We of course live stream, we record, but you may just be at your desk and go, I really wish I knew how to do this in Excel. Or there has to be a way to do this easier in Google Docs. And that's where this training comes in. Because you can pick and choose, customize it, do what you want, and not a whole bunch of other stuff. All right? So I'm going to take you through what it looks like, how to get there. If you have any questions, feel free to stop me, because I'm pretty used to the system, so I don't want to go too fast. But let me know if you have questions. Okay? So basically, the good thing about our new portal system is that you only have to remember one username and one password. So if you remember your campus credentials, you're in good shape, and you don't have to remember much else. So I'm going to log in as myself. I can do that. Okay, perfect. Here's the Who Knew It link. So once you're on the portal, click Who Knew It, and you're automatically taken to the Who Knew It site. That's all you got to remember in order to get into the system. There's a couple of ways that you can search for information. So your number one best friend is this search menu up here. Search menu is going to take you, if you can at least come up with an idea of what you're searching for, it's going to populate anything that's related to what you're searching. So let's just say we're wanting to find we'll just do access. So not only will it come up with access, like Microsoft Access, but accessibility. Anything that relates to the word that you populate. If you click on the magnifying glass, you're going to see everything that Who Knew It has in their training that's related to access. So you can go through, maybe you have a 2013 version of Access on your computer. Maybe you want to know about accessible online learning. Advanced access. There's a ton of information that you have at your fingertips based off of what you search for in the search bar. Anything else you want me to search for that you may think, I wish I knew a training based off of any topic? Anybody want to throw something out there?
Customer service.
Customer service. It's a little different typing on this thing, so bear with me. Customer service. Over the rainbow, customer service training. That sounds like a good one. I mean, that's something I think I want to take. You've got streaming music and internet radio. I'm not quite sure how that relates to customer service, but there must be, a glance at each service and highlight the aspects of each cost. You also have this phone gap, Snagit. That's everything that they can think of that relates to customer service. Sometimes it may be easier to just do service and keep it generic and see what comes up. So maybe you need some Blackboard training with your customer service. Maybe you teach online or a hybrid course like I do. There's a ton of modules that you can use that you don't have to pay for. Number one, we're paying for this as a college. Number two, you can use this to get your professional development 5 hours at the end of the year, so you can use it for your performance evaluation. After you do any of these training modules and you do the evaluation at the end, you will receive a certificate of completion. You can save that and put it in a file, or you can view any of the assignments that you've already completed by clicking on that button. So you don't have to remember or put something in a file, because if you forget, you have a place where you can go to find it at the end of the semester. Favorites. If you're like me, a lot of times I'll see something and I think, you know what, I really wish I had time to do that, but I don't have time right now. You can save it, go to your favorites, just like you do on your computer, and it'll stay there for as long as you want it to. You can run reports based on, how many certificates have you completed. You can do start and end date to find any of the trainings that you've done within a window of time. This is where your performance evaluations come in. You can do it for the entire period of your performance evaluation. It'll tell you if you started, stopped, didn't complete, maybe you completed the video portion and you didn't do the evaluation at the end. This will let you know that. Anytime you want to go back, you can click the Who Knew It icon or the Home tab. That'll get you back to the home screen. Any questions on that? No? So, I showed you the search bar. That's one way to search. There's also what's called pathways. When I say pathways, think of tracks. Maybe you want to know how to create more information literacy. Maybe you're an instructor. Within this pathway, you have 3 separate modules. Modules meaning courses, pathway meaning overarching umbrella. So in order to complete this pathway, you have to take Research Essentials, Copyright, Copyleft, and Fair Use, and Evaluating Web Resources. So all of those together, 11 hours. Yes, 11 hours worth of training makes up this pathway. That's in order to receive credit for everything. There's also another feature to Who Knew It. This enroll for credit. So if maybe you're getting a master's degree or a doctorate, you can receive credit through the University of North Dakota for taking this pathway. However, as a college, we only purchase the license to Who Knew It. You'll have to go through your department or the foundation, because I think they're $150 per credit hour in order to receive, yes, $150 per credit hour in order to go through the University of North Dakota. Any questions about pathways? No? All right, we're gonna go back home. Now we'll show you another way. Okay, so we've talked about the search bar, we've talked about our pathways. You can also explore by topic. What that means is, say you want to learn some more professional responsibility and communication. These courses are all related to this topic. So you can see the list, and it goes on and on. You can show 42 more. You can go through each one of these until your heart's content. You can search by each one of these topics. So if you notice, software and technology is here. Instructional strategies is here. They also have, which is wonderful, newly added. So they have content developers and instructional designers that are part of this Who Knew It team. And customers like myself, there's a lot of colleges, universities that use them. They go to them and say, we really need a training on attendance. And these developers come up with the information, they create the training, but because we bought the license, we also get access to anything that's new that they've created. So it's an open license. So these are the newest trainings that they've come up with. Monthly, I'm noticing that this is changing, which is great because that means that they're constantly adding new information. You're not just going to see the same thing every time that you search. There may be something that's in a different place, or you may get a new topic that comes up if you search. That just means that they're adding content every month. The other thing that you can do is look under feature. This feature section is what are their clients clicking on the most. So as of right now, responsible decision making is what their clients are clicking on from all of their trainings, their entire robust system. That is what they're clicking on the most, which that's good. And improving social awareness, I think that's a great thing. Everybody needs to be more socially aware and improve decision making. So that's the way you can search for information. You have your search tab, newly added features, your topics, your pathways. Over here on the left-hand column, this is your campus training of your certificates. Anything that you've completed and you've done the evaluation, you can do your certificates, you can print that off. Say you're like me, you print it, you stick it on your desk, you throw something away and it was in the trash. No worries, you can go in here and you can print it off again. We talked about assignments, we talked about, let's go back here. Okay, My Campus trainings. If you are assigned a training, you will get an email, and it's typically 24 hours after the training has been assigned to you. You will get a link to that training via your email. Say that you clicked and you somehow deleted that email. If you go into this tab, you will see anything that's been assigned to you. Any questions about that? No? I have one other little special feature, but that is for supervisors. So like Tara, you will see this tab, and that's a way to assign trainings, assign assessments, track, run reports, that sort of thing. Any questions about that? No? All right. Because I have you guys for another few minutes, I'm going to show you some other things. And this is what I did for Welcome Week, Adjunct Night, new faculty orientation, and I'm going to take our new employees through it as well. Because it's great to know the trainings that you can get when you don't have the time to come to something. But what about the other times where you may want to get out, meet new people, see new faces, have group activities, and some trainings that we do across the college. We always live stream anything that's not hands-on training into Harnan and into Pittsburgh. We also allow those that can't make it to view from their desk or wherever they may be. But I'm going to show you where to go to find the trainings. Yes, I send out emails. Not everybody reads emails. So it's nice to know where to go when you're looking for something. Now we have a new Center for Academic Excellence website. It looks a lot better than the old one. We're still making changes, so it's not perfect, but that's okay. We weren't looking for perfect. So if you go to Center for Academic Excellence, you click on Professional Development. All of these are the trainings that we have coming up that we have scheduled. Whether it's right now, happening today, or if it's in December. Anything that we have created will be listed here. If you want to go to a training, you need to register. Why do you need to register?
So you know who you can count on being there.
Well, not only
You gotta have
that,
a count.
but let's look around. There's a certain number of seats in every classroom.
That's right.
Luckily, this is one of the larger classrooms. But sometimes I'm stuck in whatever I can get because, classes come first. So I may be in a conference room with 12 chairs, and if I've got 20 people that show up, that tells me I need to do another session. Also, if you register for a session, you get a reminder 2 days before the session's supposed to start. You also get an evaluation at the end. If you don't register, I have no way of giving you that evaluation. Why is that important? The evaluation is important because I assess every session we do. And Amy knows just as well as I do, compliance assist is not my favorite thing in the world. But I have to have tracking. I have to show what we're offering, who's coming. Did people think it was satisfactory? Did they enjoy it? Was it excellent? I have to show something. If I don't have people that register, I have no way of sending that information out. So it all goes into compliance assist, and then Amy tells me, great job. Or that's what I want her to say. So this is where you go. You can click on any one of these sessions. You just need your first, last name, and email. You're done. You can add it to your calendar. Easy peasy, right? All right. The other thing I'm going to show you is my professional development resources. So say that you couldn't make it to a training session, you couldn't go to Harnett or Pittsburgh, you couldn't view it at your desk, but you really, really, really wanted to be there. Well, I record any session that I do that is not hands-on. And these are screenshots of how to get to those recorded trainings. Denise, I know you know all about this. She used to help me with this. But, for those of you that may not know, let's go here. If you have the single sign-on portal, you're lucky, everyone's happy because you only have to click Blackboard, and guess what? You're automatically in. I teach marketing, but you don't want to know about that. You want to know about professional development. So under my organizations is your professional development Blackboard site. Here, you will see all the recorded sessions that I have ever done. So I started back in 2013, and guess what? These go all the way back to 2013. There is a lot of great information here. I have people that tell me all the time, Daisha, I really need a training on X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, have you checked the Blackboard site? Because we've done that. I mean, the good thing about this too is since we started this accessibility committee on campus, the majority of these are closed caption. There may be a few that are not, but I had a work study for the previous 3 semesters that has worked really diligently to make sure that we are in compliance with the accessibility. So we've got everything in here from, travel reimbursements. I get this question a lot. I'm new here and I really don't know how to fill out a travel reimbursement. I have to teach on the Harnett campus. How do I do that? That's in here. We've got IT tips and tricks, Google apps, internet security. The physical plan, what do they do? Why does that matter? Excel tips and tricks. The college budget. We're always adding to this list. Accessibility with Word, PowerPoint, Frontline Spanish. Frontline Spanish is one of those things that I had an instructor come to me and say, hey, Daisha, I've got some Spanish-speaking students in my class. I can't connect with them. I feel like there is this language barrier and I don't know how to get over it. So we did 2 Frontline Spanish sessions, which is just how do you greet someone? How do you tell them where the bathroom is? Simple things so that when they come in your classroom or they come in your office, they don't feel like they're alone. Title IX, FERPA. The list goes on and on. MBTI. But this is where you can go to find any of those sessions that we've recorded, and I'll be adding a fall tab here, and you'll be able to see everything that we've done there as well. We also recorded an adjunct night. So if there was anything that you've seen, Blackboard tips and tricks, we also did student code of conduct. I'll be adding that soon as well. Any questions about that? No. Okay. So I showed you who knew it. I showed you where to go to get the recorded sessions and then how to find the PD calendar. And that's really all I'm going to do today. Because I feel like I've given you enough that once you get back to your desk, you can be dangerous. But not too much to where you're going to be like, I don't even know what she was talking about. One last thing I'm going to hand out. I'm sorry, but I like having a reference as a bookmark because I like to read. And if you ever lose these pieces of paper, hopefully you will save a bookmark. And there again, it's just about who knew it and how to log in, where to get there. Angela, Heike, did y'all have any questions?
I don't think so.
Me neither.
Awesome. Well, listen, if you have anything or if you need any help, and this goes for you guys too, if you're in the system, you're looking for a training, you can't find it, or maybe you're just having difficulty, call me. Come by my desk, shoot me an email. I'll be glad to help you out. We're all learning this together. But I think that, we're now on the track of, we now have this resource, we've got to use it. It's just like anything else, I'm gonna have to pull usage reports, and if we're not using it, we may lose it because of the budget. So, the more that I can share information, the more I can help you, the better use we'll get out of it. Hopefully we can keep it for a while. All right, that's all I got. See you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I know when I went in and did that first thing that